Well, hello my friends. Today we're going to take a look at the WE Knife 701B, which is sort of a grail knife to me. Not the most expensive WE, it is sort of the WE budget line, but I hesitate to call it budget because even the cheaper WEs are rather more expensive than a lot of budget knives. But it's a cheaper WE, still a lot of the same quality, but we'll take a look. As you can see, the WE knives always comes in a cardboard box and has a nice pouch, and I'll just take a look at the pouch, but we'll take the knife out so you have something pretty to look at the beginning. This is the 701B. Now, in the pouch you have a bit of paperwork, cloth, and of course a little plastic sleeve that it came in, and there are two spaces for a knife, and then there's this tool for the proprietary hardware, which we'll talk about a little later. So, and a nice pouch. I tend to think that these pouches are mostly unnecessary, but still it's a nice touch that you get something a little extra when you pay a little more. But I don't use them very much. You might be different, and this is why I call this presentation more than a review, because we are all so different. What you like, I may not like, and vice versa. So we'll put this away and we'll have a look at the knife. And as we can see, I always start at the tip, and we can see we have a green knife, in this case a green handle, but I start at the tip, as I said, and I have been talking to a friend and we agreed that this seems to be sort of a modified sheep's foot, and that's what I'm gonna call it. Please feel free to comment if you think otherwise. Some might call it a Wharncliffe. I think I did so in my first impression video, but I was corrected and I think my friend was right. As we can see, we have sort of a beak, and then it does look a bit like a prehistoric bird, or perhaps some seabird from present day, and it is funny and interesting design. And we have the straight edge. The blade is D2 steel. This is one of the compromises that WE does when they make their cheaper knives. It is hollow grind, and it is, I don't know if you can really see it, but it is a very thin hollow grind. This knife was crazy sharp when it came out of the box, but it can be made very sharp because it is thin behind the edge, and it is, in that respect, it is a good slicer. And then we have the swedge here, which makes this sort of beak shape, and of course the eye of the bird, if you think that way. We have a bit of a sharpening choil, and as you can see, the blade is quite thick at the spine, but equally quite thin at the edge, as I said. A bit of jimping on the top here, and I have to tell you, that's later. It's a flipper. If we have the flipper, I'll just show you with the jimping here, and this jimping is a bit sharp around the edges, but it's reasonably okay. It is a matter of the fit and finish, which I'll go through in a little while. The handle is, in this case, as I said, green. It has a sort of a leaf shape and even some contours to show the leaf shape even more, and the WE logo, of course, quite a nice logo in this case, not very flashy or big or anything. If you look at the back side, you have the pivot screw with a spacer, and of course the star hardware, which we'll be talking about, and a nice, reasonably deep carry pocket clip, and of course the back spacer. And all this hardware, the star screws, the back spacer, the pocket clip, is titanium. And I have to tell you that the pocket clip is tip up one side only, so I'm sorry for you lefties, this cannot be changed to the other side, as you can see. I mentioned that the handle is G10, and it is it is not smooth, it is sort of grippy, a little bit of grip, so that it doesn't slide in any way. Fit and finish is the way WE is always. I think I haven't really seen or heard of a bad WE knife, not that it doesn't exist, but I haven't heard about it. Everything is rounded off, no sharp edges, even inside this hole here it is rounded off, chamfered, and of course handle is rounded, and if the star hardware is flush with the handle, everything is nicely, even the liner lock down here is nicely rounded off, and the liners are thin and doesn't add much to the weight. And by the way, weight and all the other data I'll be putting at the end of the video, so you can read it for yourself. I don't think that's very exciting to hear me read, so you can read it yourself. Lockup is around, what do you say, 30%, 25-30%. Anyway, the liner lock is all the way into the blade, so, and the blade has a sort of shoulder, so that it will take a lot of time before it gets worn to 100%. Centering, absolutely perfect. And I think we will go to the action right away. And as you can see, and as I always experience, not that I have many WE knives, but what I see and what I have experienced, always great action. It is on ball bearings, and it flies out, and I really have to work to not make it fly out, but you can see it falls shut by itself, partly of course because of this rather heavy blade, and partly because it is extremely smooth, and action is phenomenal. Mechanically you can not sit a finger on this knife. Ergonomically, well, I have a little bit of a beef with this one. You know, I have the WE 617, which is also one of the cheaper ones, and you can see there's a finger choil here, which suits my finger absolutely perfectly. So this knife just falls right into my hand in the right position. I have to say that this one, not so much. The choil here is bigger, which means that if I put one finger in it, I'll get too far down the handle. If I put two fingers in, the second finger is riding on top of this bump here. So I'm not that satisfied with it. Now, my overall impressions, well, I do like the WE knives. I like them for their design. It is special. in this case, I just have a little beef with the ergonomics of this one. It doesn't suit your hand just as well, and I think they sacrificed a little bit for the design. This is a big knife, and it's not, I guess, for everybody to EDC this size knife, but it suits me quite well. But as I said in the beginning, you really have to take my opinions, and then you can make your own as well. I really like this knife because, well, the design suits me quite well, and I love the design of most WE knives, not all of them. And then an issue at the end here, these proprietary screws, the star screws, which they use. And I know that some very known reviewers on YouTube have a lot to say about this knife, these screws I mean. But you know, you get the tool, and instead of this key ring, you might just put something, a screwdriver, into this tool, and then you have a very nice sort of tool for maintaining your knife if you have that need. I think it would be easier to carry that tool in your key ring or your key with your keys than it is to carry a pouch of a bag of Torx screws instead. But that's a matter of opinion, and now you got mine anyway. So this was a review of the WE knife C701B. Very recommended, except for a little bit about the ergonomics, but otherwise very, very nice knife. As always, no issues whatsoever mechanically or fit and finish. It is a knife worth the price, in my opinion. Here in the end, I'd like to wish my American viewers a happy 4th of July, and for all of you, have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.